episode 262 of Magic the Amateuring.
That's right. Is it? Nope, it's 261.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
All right, 261 of Magic the Amateuring.
I'm one of your hosts, Megan.
And I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
And you're listening to a podcast for people who are new to the game of Magic, Magic players who want to improve their game, learn more about the world of Magic, or just want to have a good old time.
And on today's episode, you might have heard a third laugh in the background, and no, that is not the sneaky laugh of Ghost Host. For Ghost Host's laugh, is very musical and light and airy.
And also very high-pitched.
Very high-pitched. If your human ears can hear it,
Honestly, I think...
What did I say? If your human ears can hear it. Oh, it's like a dog whistle.
Honestly, I feel like when I was trying to mimic Ghost Host laugh, I just laughed kind of like you.
I think I have somewhere between like a light gig and a cackle. If they had a laugh love child.
Whose laugh are we hearing, Maria? If it's not Ghost Host.
Great question. Great question.
Yeah.
It is none other than the laugh of our new amateur pro who will be joining us on some episodes. Gregory Michel, welcome.
Yay, thanks for having me.
You may remember Greg from the episode featuring the Pirate Boys.
Yes, how to qualify for the Pro Tour.
Qualify for the Pro Tour.
That's right. Greg qualified for the Pro Tour back at GP Denver playing Blue White Spirits.
It's the White Monument.
That's right, Monument, but it had spirits.
Like one
in
or
it.
two, yeah.
Whatever.
So we thought it would be cool to have Greg come on and kind of be the voice of somebody who, wanted to qualify for the Pro Tour for a long time. Mm-hmm. You were grinding out at GPs and you got there, you're living the dream. And we just all want to know what it's like to play at the Pro Tour, prepare for the Pro Tour, and what you're learning along the way.
Yeah, well, it's been a great experience so far. As you heard in the last show, if you remember, my two friends, my fellow Pirate Boys, qualified for the last Pro Tour, Sam and Matt. And Sam, you might have seen do particularly well at the Pro Tour. But here I am. It's my chance now. So I get to finally come and play in the Pro Tour. Very excited. And Sam will be there too after his great performance.
Yeah,
at the
you're
last
gonna have
one.
to. So Sam is Sam Eilenfeld, who managed a top 4 at the last Pro Tour. You're gonna have to beat that, Greg.
See, okay, this isn't fair because so many people, I'm like, it's my first Pro Tour. I'm not gonna do very well, and everyone's response to that, every single person is, well, that's what Sam said too, and look what happened.
Oh, no.
And now everyone has
pressure.
These really high expectations for me. Fortunately, I have very low expectations for myself, so.
I think
they
that's
get kind of
good.
mitigated to a nice medium expectation.
That way, if you exceed them, you'll just be, it's all upside.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you underseed them, it'll just be like, well, that's what I thought would happen.
Yeah, no, it's true.
If you were at GP Indy, or if you're at GP Houston or the PT, you'll see Greg there wearing some sweet Magic the Amateuring Greg's.
So Magic the Amateuring.
Doing okay, Megan?
Greg's.
I was trying to. What was the word I'm looking for?
Gear.
Thank you.
Greg's gear. That's what we're gonna call it.
Gear.
Greg's gear.
I can do that.
I was like, I know the word I'm looking for starts with a G, but all I could figure out was your name.
Greg's gear.
There are a lot of G's in it, so
some
you might
sweet
have been
Magic the
confused.
Amateur and Greg's.
You can buy your own Magic the Amateuring Greg's on magictheamateuring.com/shops.
That's right.
/shop singular. I should change it to /Greg. And so
Greg.
people go to the shop and they're like, click on it, and anybody who looks at the URL is like, what?
There's just a nice picture of my face there.
Greg.
/Greg.
Yeah, you're wearing our sweet shirt, and you got our playmat, and anybody who wants can also ask you for a sticker.
Yeah, I have some stickers, and I got to meet some great fans of the show at GP Indy. That was really fun.
Oh, awesome.
And so I'll be at GP Houston wearing my MTA Cast t-shirt if you want to come say hi. Also, if you're at the Pro Tour in Bilbao by any chance, I would love to meet some fans of the show. I always love chatting with Megan and Maria's fans. Y'all are some of the most fun Magic players out there, so
That's
I'm always
accurate.
happy for a nice chat with a fan.
We
So
think so,
come say
too.
hi.
Yeah, give a high five to amateur pro Greg.
Yeah, it's great.
And speaking of Indy, that was this past weekend, the Grand Prix there. It was team limited, so we're going to talk about Rivals of Ixalan Limited. Where are we at? It just got really... Okay, yeah. That's accurate. Okay. Just recently released. How are we liking the set? What's it like? We've got some tips for the noobs from Rivals of Ixalan.
We'll talk about Greg's PT prep.
Yep.
And then we'll have a sweet flavor text theater, as well as some other modern talk.
Yes.
I almost forgot the word talk.
Some sweet modern.
Words are really hard today.
They
Modern
really
Greg.
are. They really are. I was like, some sweet modern, find the word.
Greg.
Greg.
We're just going to use Greg whenever you kind of have a brain fart and you can't think of a word. Just use Greg.
I don't know. I feel like that's going to end poorly.
I think it's going to end Greg.
Greg.
But before we do any of that, we've got some people to thank. Number one is you, everybody who supports the show on patreon.com/MTAcast. Guess what? Greg is one of our supporters.
What?
Yeah.
And he's on the show.
He's on the show.
Come on, join
Pro
Greg.
Tour.
And the Pro Tour,
And
yeah.
the Pro Tour.
Yeah. I did become a patron very, very soon before I joined the Pro. Before
You
I
see?
got on the Pro.
Cause and effect right
Yeah.
there.
Right.
That's how
there.
that works. Trust
In
me.
action.
Results-oriented thinking.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's true.
Thank you so much to everyone who supports the show. It is amazing. It helps us get all of the things that we want to get done for you. Podcast material. God, why can I not think of words?
Greg.
Podcasts. Videos.
Video Greg. Stream Gregs.
Stream Gregs.
Food Gregs.
Oh,
Those
boy.
are the best Gregs.
Yeah. Yes, all of those things and more, and some extra special, exciting
Yes.
news on the MTA front is that we have recently leased Ravnica.
Ravnica!
Not the entire plane,
No.
but we have leased an office.
In what we have termed Ravnica.
Yes.
It's just kind of our we took the what's the word I'm looking for?
The first
Greg.
plane.
We took the
The first plane that we were ever on.
which was Ravnica.
Yep, we started during Return to Ravnica,
Yeah.
so we're naming our very first brand new MTA office space after Ravnica.
And it's really, really wonderful and a huge step forward for us. Of course, we couldn't have done it without all of your support out there in Magic Land. And the change is going to mean some great changes for you too. It's going to mean higher production quality for all of our
one,
videos.
The wall behind us is going to look 1,000,000 times better.
Yeah, I don't, like this, now it's just a random
What is
assortment of
this?
things.
What is this junk?
All the videos you watch on our YouTube channel are going to look better. There's not going to be a door and a closet that goes to somewhere. I'm not sure. Haven't opened it since I bought the house.
I came in through the ceiling.
The ceiling?
I came down.
Drop
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
We're going to have space to be able to record, hopefully, top-down videos for you. I know that's something that a lot of people requested, which is to see Meghan and me play real-life Magic against each other.
Yeah.
A better
And maybe
streaming
with some
setup.
friends also.
What?
All
We
right,
don't know
Greg.
other Magic players.
But yeah, it's so wonderful and exciting. And I know some people have been saying that they wanted to help us out with the new office acquisition. So we have a way. Of course, you can always be a patron, and that is the #1 way to support Magic the Amateuring. But if you want to specifically help us out with Ravnica, we have a special incentive for you. We've set up a PayPal link at paypal.me/MTAcast, and you can head over there and donate any amount you want. You don't have to worry about fees. We cover those, and that will all go to helping support Magic the Amateuring's brand new Ravnica office. And if you give $50 or more, you'll get your name on a special plaque on the wall
That's right.
for being a special supporter of Ravnica.
Yay, Ravnica.
And I think it's really cool, and we're super excited about it. But this is just an example of how, what you do helps what we do, and helps make everything better for you too. Thank
The
you as
band.
well to what?
Helps us make it better for you too, the band.
Oh yeah, you too.
Maria and I
Bono.
are working on making things better for Bono. And The Edge. I don't know any other members.
The
of
rainbow, the waterfall.
The Edge is the name of the bass player.
I know, but do they all have titles like that?
No, I think it's just his name.
Oh,
My understanding is that The Edge's name is The Edge.
that's badass. All right.
It really is.
You know what's also badass is Card Kingdom. CardKingdom.com/MTAcast is the best place to go to buy your singles, buy your boxes. Look at this box of Rivals
Buy
of
your
Ixalan.
doubles, buy your triples. Triple is important because that's how many packs are in a draft.
Yeah, you need those.
That's right. That's
can
sweet,
get one of
sweet,
these.
sweet box.
Yeah.
You can get sleeves. Well, you can get deck boxes. You can get binders. You can get. I'm gonna keep coming up with real things.
Greg. No, that's the one thing.
Yep,
You can't
it's not
get
that
a
yet.
card.
Yeah,
Can't
I did. I bought my brother some Magic cards for Christmas, and I bought them at Card Kingdom /MTA Cast.
Thank you so
And I was
much.
worried that they wouldn't come in time because I procrastinated and didn't buy them soon enough.
Yeah.
But they came very promptly. So
Awesome.
That's what we always
Card
say.
Kingdom.
Yeah, that is what we
Very
say,
prompt.
and it's true. So yeah, an exciting show coming up for you, Greg. Are you ready to Greg?
Always ready to Greg. Never not ready to Greg. Sorry, never not Greg to Greg.
For the noobs, Ixalan.
That's right, everyone. These are our RIX tips. If you are drafting Rivals of Ixalan and you're sort of like, hey, I haven't quite found my bearing in this format yet, we're here to help you bear away.
That's right.
So
Bears are
we're
very
each
good.
we're in this format.
Turns
we're
out.
really helping you bear away.
Tip
we're
number one: draft bears.
Draft bears. We're each gonna crack our first pack here, and we'll just start there. So
All right.
nice.
Remember, rares and fancy cards we open are going to be given away at the end of the month. So next episode to a special patron.
That's all right. Ooh, okay. I'm already ready to talk about my pack because I have some great options,
Yeah.
but I know what I'm taking.
I also know what I'm taking, and I have a double face card, so I'd have to announce it to the table.
Would you like to announce
what's your
double
double
face?
face?
Hadana's Climb.
I know what I'm taking out of your pack if I were you.
Woo! It's this card. This card is busted and broken, but I digress. Go ahead, Megan.
Yeah, so I have my rare is the Immortal Sun, also
yes.
a busted rare.
Oh my gosh.
A mythic, in fact. It is 6 mana for a legendary artifact that says players can't activate Planeswalker's loyalty abilities. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card. God, it's so good. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and creatures you control get +1/+1. So that's sick. I do have like some other considerations. Like I'm definitely taking that.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so good. But there is also maybe my favorite uncommon. One of my favorites. No, it's so good. Sadistic Sky Marcher.
Love that card.
2 and a black for a 2/2 vampire soldier. You have to reveal a vampire card or pay an additional 1. And it has flying and lifelink. This card, great.
You have to deal with it.
Yeah.
This format's about racing, and that
This
changes
card,
the race.
it really does. It's so good. So yeah, I'm picking the Immortal Sun, but you know, mad props to Sadistic Sky Marcher.
And this is just a quick question, Greg, as our amateur pro. Immortal Sun costs 6 mana. That's expensive.
It is.
Okay, and this format is known to be fast. At least that's what Megan and I were spouting out of our mouth holes last episode. So if this format is really fast, can you afford to draft something like the Immortal Sun?
So I like the Immortal Sun a lot because it has 3 main abilities. One is that you get to draw an extra card. One is that your spells cost less, and one is that all your creatures get +1/+1. And normally cards like this, expensive artifacts, they don't really affect the board that much. But this one comes down and has an immediate effect that all your creatures get +1/+1. So even if it's a fast game, this card comes down and affects the board right away. And then if the game happens to go longer, you're just 100% to win because you have this great card advantage going and you have all your spells are cheaper, so you can play all the cards you draw. Now, I will say at my last GP, someone played this against me and they ended up milling themselves out because they drew 2 cards a turn.
Wow.
Yeah.
In a really long game. So try to close out the game. Don't wait too long. But it was a close game. I should.
Yeah.
I
And to
have
be
give
fair,
them
they met
credit.
with a busted rare from you, which is settle the wreckage.
Yes.
So,
They tried to close out the game and failed.
Yeah. Yeah, so you do want to, like, I want to have a board by the time I'm casting this because I really want that creatures clause at the very end to have a good impact.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear what you're drafting.
Well, in my pack, it sounds like we have a lot of busted rares going around because my pack has the card Bishop of Binding.
Wow.
So this is a 4 mana 1/1, which isn't very exciting, but it has 2 abilities. One, when it comes into play, you get to exile one of your opponent's creatures as long as your bishop stays in play. So you get to remove one of their things, which is really good. And when it attacks, target vampire you control gets +X/+X, where X is the power of the exiled card. So
Nice.
it can grow itself and attack for a lot, or you can attack with it and grow something else, like if you have a flyer you want to get through, and it removes one of their threats, and your opponent really has to answer it to get their threat back. So I think I'm going to take this Bishop of Binding.
Ooh, you're gonna like what I'm passing you.
Some other cards in the pack. There's a Bombard, which is one of my favorite removal spells in the format because it's an instant. It's a 3-mana instant that deals 4 damage. So before I saw my rare, I thought I was gonna take that. And a couple good quality creatures in all the tribes. So I'm hoping something nice will come back for me in this pack.
Okay, so everybody knows what I'm taking here. Hadana's Climb, which is 1 green-blue for a legendary enchantment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Okay, sweet. Then if that creature has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you transform it. It transformed into Winged Temple of Erazka. Taps for any color of mana. You can pay 3, 1 green-blue, and tap it. Target creature you control gains flying and gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is its power. Are you kidding me?
That card is so good.
This card
so good.
will close out a game. It's cheap enough. It's only 3 mana. It buffs up your creatures in the process, and then when it flips, you win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good. And like green blue especially has a lot of 1-drops.
Yes.
That are worth playing, like Mistcloaked Herald, which is unblockable, and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, you can go easily in that color combination. You can go 1-drop,
1, 2,
2-drop
3.
this, and just like start putting counters on them.
Yeah.
Scoop City, that's where they are. They see that.
It also has a lot of other things that put counters on things. So sometimes you just play this card and put your 3rd counter on something that already has 2 counters, and you automatically flip it.
And then it's out of like danger range because then it's a land.
So good.
So my rare is actually foil as well. I have a foil in here. Kumena's Awakening, which is a really cool card.
Also a very good card.
If you have the City's Blessing, you get to draw 2 cards, kind of at your upkeep, same as the Immortal Sun. If you don't, then everybody gets to do it. Direfleet Netbreaker is great. Cherished Hatchling, also very good. So yeah, it's a pretty strong pack, but I'm taking this Hadana's Climb.
Nice.
Get real.
Nice. All right, so now we're all passing left.
Pass.
I'm gonna crack a new pack over here.
So are you gonna take a card out for that person?
I will take the best card out.
Okay.
So wait, I will draft for one other person at this table. So this person opened up. Ooh. This is going to be rough for you, Greg, because this person opened Champion of Dusk.
It's a good vampire.
It's a great vampire.
I
don't know
So
that.
you have to play as though you don't know that.
Oh, yeah, I definitely don't. I don't know
Champion of Dusk is so good. Maria and I drafted a vampires deck last week.
Yeah.
That 3-0'd quite easily, and it had this card in it, and it was just like, you would just draw 4 cards.
Just draw 4 cards.
It's like, it's 5 mana, you get a 4/4, and you draw 4 cards.
Yeah, so you draw equal the number of vampires you can draw. So you're always going to draw at least 1. So I saw people this past weekend put in their black deck, no vampires other than that card.
Yeah.
Or the
like,
incidental vampire.
It's a 4/4, so it's already good.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and honestly, there's not too much else. There's like a Mistcloaked Herald, which I'm actually pretty. I like that card.
Well, so if they take the Champion of Dusk, now you can just talk about what you're gonna take.
That's true. Okay, so hold on just a second.
What am I
gonna
take?
Champion of Dusk. This person in the seat next to me, and as my second pick. Wow,
this is hard, actually.
I know, right? Not knowing at all what my opponent took. Wow.
Greg, you sent me some interesting choices.
Yeah.
So some notable stuff in this pack is there's a Pitiless Plunderer, which is 3 and a black for a 1/4. Whenever another creature you control dies, create a colorless artifact treasure token with. Okay, you create a treasure. Actually, yeah, not taking that. That's for sure. There's the 2/2 dinosaur that flies for 3 and a white that can give another dinosaur flying. I don't think I haven't been a huge fan of that either. You know what? There's a Kitesail Corsair.
I will say that's a card that I've really, really liked in testing a lot. It's the 2 mana 2/1 that when it attacks, it gets flying.
Yeah.
It doesn't have much synergy with your other card because your other card's a little slower, and this card's really aggressive. But I've been a huge fan of this card.
That's true. I do think that I'm taking that or Mistcloaked Herald, or not knowing what my opponent took, or the person to my right took, maybe Martyr of Dusk, which I've also really liked.
Yeah, great card.
So that's tough. I'm going to ponder those 3 cards for a minute. Greg, you tell us what you're looking at.
Well, Meghan kind of spoiled my choice when she revealed the Sadistic Sky Martyr in this pack. Because I'm very excited by that card. I already have 1 vampire in my deck that costs 4, and this is a vampire that costs 3 that needs me to have another vampire in my hand. So my cards have a lot of synergy. This is one of the strongest cards in the vampire archetype, so that makes me think that might be open. So I'm really excited to draft this card.
You really want me to pass you this Martyr of Dusk?
I don't even know what you're doing. It's a draft.
It's very true. It's very true.
Yeah, I wanted to call out to some of the commons in this pack because we've been talking a lot about uncommons and rares, and sometimes when you're drafting, that's you know to take the rare a lot of the times. But some commons in this pack I really like. Water Knot is a really good card. It's a nice removal spell in blue, and the card Crashing Tide I've really been impressed by in the Merfolk deck especially. And there's a nice green-white multicolor card which is Etzakazan Seer. Greg Seer. And so that would actually, now that I think about it, go well with my Bishop too, because it's a white card and this is green-white. But I still think that the Sky Marcher is what I would take.
Yeah, you kind of want to start building your critical mass of vampires just because there's so many cards that care if your creature type is vampire.
And that deck is popular, but if you can get into it, it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Greg has shipped me, we've talked about some of it here. There's a Cherished Hatchling in the pack, which can be good if you are a dedicated dino strategy. However, I have seen it be very often just a 2-1-for-1 with sadly no upside. Now, my first pick was Hadana's Climb, so that is green. However, there's some pretty good merfolk in here in blue, including Mistcloaked Herald and Giltgrove Stalker. And there's also a Jadecraft Artisan, which I've liked. But my inclination is to honestly just take this little 1-drop.
Yeah.
1/1 unblockable.
Do you know what? I'm feeling the same over here, honestly. I like it. The only reason I like it over Kitesail Corsair is because I have found that if you want to have a tribal synergy, like if you want to be super aggro, tribal synergies are where it's at.
Yeah.
And I think it's usually a little bit easier to get into merfolk, I've found, than to get into pirates. And so this makes, like, if I pick up a bunch of, like, dumb Jade Bearers, which is a dumb card, except if you play a Mistcloaked Herald on 1 and then play a Jade Bearer on 2 and put the counter on it, then you've put yourself in a really nice spot.
Greg, do you agree with this pick of mine, by the way?
I think I would take the Bum. Well, I actually maybe like the Giltgrove Stalker over the Mistcloaked Herald if we're trying to be merfolk. It's 2 power and is also hard to block, but honestly I'm not sure. I haven't drafted this deck that much, so my experience with it is little.
All right, well, I'm going hard.
Yeah, okay.
Going hard on the Mistcloaked Herald.
All right, should this be our last one?
Last pick?
I'll just pass this. I'm not gonna crack anymore.
Okay, well, you just
So
pass.
you guys just tell me your next picks.
Yeah. So this is hard. So this is the pack Meghan had. It has the Martyr of Dusk, which is a good vampire for my vampires deck.
But you see that
a 2-drop. There's this flying dinosaur, but I don't have many other dinosaurs, so I'm not too interested. There's a Hunt the Weak, which is a really good removal spell in green. But I haven't been the most impressed by green. And I like the Kitesail Courser. But I think I'm going to take the Martyr of Dust to stay on theme with my vampires.
Yeah, keep passing me those merfolk. I'm going to take a Water Knot here, obviously. It's just a straight-up removal spell. Crashing Tide, I think, is a runner-up. And Secrets of the Golden City, I think, is good, but you don't need to pick it this high.
Yeah. Absolutely. Nice. All right, everybody.
Right. Well, we've got a good start here. Hadana's Climb, Mistcloaked Herald, Water Knot. I'm happy.
Yeah, I think yours is good. You're both looking great.
I'd be thrilled to start out a Pro Tour with these 3 cards in my first draft. I'd be very happy.
I have drafted 2 seats, one of which has 1 card and Champion of Dust. That person is feeling pretty good.
Yeah, they're feeling great.
Yeah.
And my seat, which has Immortal Sun and Mistcloaked Herald, which, maybe I should be more willing to try drafting some pirates. But I've really enjoyed 1-drop Merfolk.
Oh, it's great.
It's very good. You do need a lot of 1-drops.
You do need a critical mass of 1-drops.
Yeah.
So, Greg, overall, what are your thoughts on Rivals of Ixalan so far that you've discovered in your Pro Tour testing and your testing leading up to Indianapolis?
Yeah, well, so almost all of my limited testing has been team sealed, which is not what I'll be playing at the Pro Tour. But it's informative. Can I take this out now?
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that on the, so there's a microphone, not a thing, and it's a lot harder for me to talk when I'm not holding it like this.
Oh my God.
Okay. So we really liked playing team sealed. We think that every single pool had a black-white deck, and I played black-white both days, so I got a lot of experience playing with the vampire deck, so I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Nice.
Team seal decks are usually even better than draft decks, so I've seen a lot of what like the best of the best decks in the format look like, and so now I have to go back to draft where the decks are a little worse, so that might be a hard adjustment. But our team has been loving the pirate decks with Kite Sail, a lot of Kite Sail coursers, a lot of the 2/1 Menace that's red, a lot of evasive 2-drops. That deck has been winning a lot.
So
for
are
us.
you liking black blue pirates, red blue?
We like blue red pirates.
Red. Okay.
But one of our one day we had a blue black, one day we had a blue red. But the blue red I think has the most in RIX.
Yeah, I agree that I've seen like since the switchover, I've seen way more, at least draft wise, blue red pirate decks than I have blue black.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
I mean, you get access to Stormfleet Sprinter, which is really cool.
That card is brutal.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to draft so much this week preparing for the Pro Tour, and this episode's going to come out, and I'm going to listen back to it, and I'm going to be like, what was I saying?
Well, that's like what's so cool about draft, I think.
It's true, and it changes a lot. People learn about what decks are good, and then a lot of people want to draft them, and then you want to draft the other decks that people don't know about.
Yeah.
So there was something that was kind of interesting that came up at Grand Prix Indianapolis this past weekend as far as team sealed went, and I'm pretty sure you could do the same thing in draft if you wanted to, which is building white-blue hexproof or white-blue evasion. So normally we call this deck white-blue skies, but when I say hexproof, I mean we're putting auras on our creatures that have hexproof or can't be blocked. So the 3/2 that has flying, you can put a Squire's Devotion on Soul of the Rapids and swing in for life-linking damage, and there's not a thing that your opponent can do about it except block if they can. Or you can just draft things like Slippery Scoundrel and put Curious Obsession on it and swing in and draw all the cards and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. We talked a lot about maybe putting Tilonani's Crown, which is the +3/+0 trample aura on the 3/2 and hexproof. One of the teams we were working with really liked that deck, and since those cards are both common, you usually had access to them in Team Sealed. And so we talked about that deck a lot. We never ended up doing it, but we always kind of wanted to. It seems really sweet.
Yeah, I like finding kind of these off-color mystery decks that aren't obvious. I guess is the word I'm looking for.
I've drafted a little bit of blue-white and seen a couple of people draft the blue-white skies deck. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, there are a lot of flyers. Like Kite Sail Corsair is great in that because you can go 2-drop flyer and then like the Exultant Sky Marcher, you can have like a 3-drop flyer. And like you just go up the curve with flyers all the way, and it's like, how is someone ever supposed to race that?
Resplendent Griffin is a card.
It is
very good.
But I think that was one of the cool things that we saw this past weekend. Another thing I just want to call out quick is the Forerunners. So you have Forerunner of the Empire for the Dinosaurs, Forerunner of the Coalition for the Pirates, Forerunner of the Legion, and Forerunner of the Heralds for the Merfolk. Number 1 Forerunner, I'm just going to say it right here, Forerunner of the Empire. That card's
the red one?
Insane. Yeah, that is the Dinosaur Forerunner. And what happens is you can go get your Needletooth Raptor with it, put it into play, or your Polyraptor, or whatever dumb card that has Enrage on it, and then immediately you're going to get value off of it when you play it because Forerunner's ability says you may deal 1 to all creatures. So Enrage will trigger, and then you're just rolling in it at that point. You're rolling in the Dino Love. I'm sorry.
Why are you yelling?
I saw that Forerunner of the Empire be responsible for more blowouts than any other card, I think, the whole weekend.
It's very, very good.
And it's just, just your average. I mean, it's not a mythic rare. It's not a rare. Anyway, just want to point that out. That's a fun deck to draft now. You couldn't really draft in Rage before.
Draft, like, people are always talking about looking for draft around uncommons.
Yeah.
Which... like, arguably, sometimes it's harder to do in Tribal because you're also trying to draft a tribe. But I feel like that's a card that comes up where it's like,
for sure.
You just want those enraged dinos all day.
I have to give a shout out to Forerunner of the Legion, the Vampire Forerunner. That card is also excellent. I've been very impressed by that. I think it's almost as good at pumping your team as the Vampire Lord. And if you have a Vampire Lord, it goes and finds your Vampire Lord. And so suddenly your team of vampires is just enormously huge and they can't ever hope of blocking them.
Yeah.
So I
do you want to fight, Greg? Fight me.
I think I'll fight.
I'm also going to say, I mean, this card is not a Forerunner, but it's, I'm thinking of the 2 and a black Vamp. That's a 2/2 that gives +1/+1 and Menace when it comes into play.
Voracious Vampire, yeah.
I drafted a vampire deck that had a couple of those.
So good.
And it's so good because your opponent will be trying to stabilize against all of these vampires. And it's just like, well, never mind. Did you leave 2 blockers back? No. Like,
No.
it'll get in. Or if you have flying vampires and it's like, oh, I have 1 flying blocker. It's like, well, that's great. If I give this menace, you're never going to be able to block it.
People talk about blocking being bad in this format, that it's hard to block. And that is, for me,
true.
the number 1 card that makes it hard to block.
Yeah.
Because the merfolk creatures and the pirates are already unblockable. So you're like, at least I can already block the vampires.
Nope.
But
Never
then
mind.
they give them all menace with this menace guy. And yeah. So
Yeah.
blocking is hard.
It's a real Greg.
It's time to talk about the Pro Tour and testing for it. Amateur Pro Greg is going to be at Pro Tour Bilbao, Pro Tour Rivals of Ixalan, which is actually kind of a misnomer because this is a modern Pro Tour.
It is a modern Pro Tour.
So, first of all,
Although, we will see some rivals.
oh yeah, we're going to see drafts.
Some limited.
But
Yep.
I was going to say Merfolk is playing these
That's
buddies.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
Hopefully some people bring Merfolk. I think that'd be really cool, and undoubtedly, like, a few people will.
Yeah.
It's a fun deck and competitive. I just want to know, just how do you feel right now? You're like a couple weeks away from it. First Pro Tour, this is something you've worked up to for a long time. How are you feeling?
Well, I really wish this were a standard Pro Tour because I've never played Modern in my life. And I said that on the last show, and you were like, the Pro Tour's months away. I'm sure you'll have time to play tons of Modern. But I still have played very little Modern. I've done a few leagues to test. I've played with some friends to test. I've gotten some experience with some decks. But even still, I feel like I really never know what's going on. And Standard is so exciting now. They just banned some cards, so no one knows what's going on. So you could try I wouldn't be the only one trying a fresh new format if it were Standard. But that's okay. I'm still excited to be going to the Pro Tour. I had some fun picking out a deck. I talked a lot with some friends.
Like you say, like picking out a deck, like you went to the deck store and you're like,
pick
let's try
this
on
one
this
out.
one.
You know?
No. Let's try on this one. No.
I
will
wish
say,
you could do that.
never in my life have I literally made a pro-con list. Like, a lot of times people are like, make a pro-con list, and you're kind of in your head go through the pros and the cons. But no, I actually took a piece of paper out and wrote down 3 or 4 decks that I was thinking about. And for each one, I wrote out like pro, like, this has this card that I really like in it. Pro, my friend Andrew plays this deck, so he'd be able to help me with sideboarding choices. Like, con, it's a really hard deck, and this card is really confusing. Con, everyone will have hate for it in their sideboards.
Are you talking about Affinity right
Yeah,
now?
I did. When Affinity was on the list, yeah.
Number one
was-
hated deck.
Yeah.
As far as sideboard goes, I
Yeah,
feel
and it's
like.
super hard to play. You have to make all these ridiculous lines that were just too hard, and I don't have time to prepare.
Yeah.
So a lot of players on the Pro Tour won't say what they're playing.
Oh, should I not? I was gonna say what I'm playing,
up to
but
you.
now I don't think
But
I
I'm
should.
just
It's
letting you
up
know.
to
Okay.
you.
It's just like literally only one person who plays a Pro Tour listens to this show.
Is it me?
No.
Okay.
you.
It's me.
I can think
Wow.
of 2 people.
Oh, can you think of 2?
I can think of 2, maybe.
So like your chances
If
of
you're
being
on the
called
Pro
out.
Tour and you listen to this, please tweet at us with the hashtag Greg's deck list.
Definitely not gonna say it.
But even if we don't tell you what they're playing, we're just saying, just tweet at us like, I listen, and then hashtag Greg's deck list.
I'm gonna tweet that at you because I'm playing on the Pro Tour, and I will
And you
definitely
will
listen to this
Here's the
podcast.
thing. You know what somebody is playing when they put down their first land most of the time in Modern.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
I'll tell you here. How about this? I'll compromise, and I'll tell you what's on the pro-con list.
Okay.
Okay.
That I made. Okay. Affinity was on the pro-con list.
Okay, actually, I'm very proud of having guessed that one.
Yeah, that was
was pretty
impressive
good.
based on
Good.
Andrew, because you know what Andrew plays. Is that like
that, and you said it was complicated and people have hate
Yeah,
for it.
yeah, okay.
Those are 2 things I know about Affinity.
Affinity was on the pro-cons list. Counters Company was on the pros-con list.
Okay,
Collected
popular
Company
deck.
is my favorite card in Magic. Or it's definitely up there. So I was happy to put that on the list. That was its first pro, by the way. Eldrazi Tron was on the pro-con list. And Burn was on the pro-con list. So
Burn.
these are the 4 main decks I considered.
They all make you a monster.
Do they?
They all make you.
Well, I really like creature-based decks. I'm really a limited player.
Oh, boy.
And
What
so,
is Burn doing?
Burn was kind of the
couple creatures.
weird one out on the list. But like Eldrazi-tron and Counters Company are both really like creature-based decks, so that's what drew me to those. But yeah, I actually listened while I was first figuring this out. Listened to the MTA Magic the Amateuring bit where they did the 30-second modern descriptions.
Yeah.
It was a nice little mental recap of all the decks that I could consider.
Very informational.
It was quite fun.
We've had a number of people have actually mentioned that episode to me specifically and said that they really liked it. So I'm happy that people are getting use out of it. We'll have to do another one with all the ones we forgot.
Yeah, because we did forget a fair amount. For as many as we covered, we probably left out as many as we covered because Modern is a format. Like, I know that people are like, oh, it sucks, like they just banned cards in Standard and we would have a brand new format. That being said, like, Modern is awesome and there are so many decks out there now. There's just a million that you could possibly play.
Yeah.
And they all have pros and cons.
But it really makes it hard testing because if you know Modern really well, you know all the deck lists really well. But I don't, and so when I'm playing with friends, they're like, oh, this deck is playing Logic Knot now, so be sure to play around that. And I'm like,
That's
I
hard.
wouldn't have known that if you hadn't told me. So I'm hoping to learn a lot of this stuff. I've cleared my schedule for the entire week to play Magic, Draft, and Modern, so I'm going to just blitz. I'm going to cram really hard for the exam and hope that's good enough.
What's passing for you at the Pro Tour?
In the words of Sam Eilenfeld, I'm just hoping to win a match.
Yes. Yeah.
Sam. And you know what?
He did.
He did win a match.
He won one match.
Turns out.
at least.
Match.
At
least one that we know of.
And I'm also just excited to go to Bilbao with Sam and some other friends, and we're gonna go see the country and see the city, and I'm very excited for that too. So I think one thing when you asked me about qualifying for the Pro Tour, I said making sure that Magic tournaments are fun and that you're going with friends and having a great time no matter the result of your tournament. So I'm really looking forward to taking a week off work and going to Spain and going to Houston beforehand and seeing some family so
That's right. Fancy geometry can suck it.
yeah.
Greg does fancy geometry.
That's one word.
You call it theoretical math?
No, it's like
Theoretical
some kind of it's like
like
shape algebra.
Okay, if you want to hate on it like math, I bet a lot of your listeners study math.
I am not
That's
hating
true.
on it at all. I'm making
hating
fun
on
of
it.
my own inability to remember exactly what it is. So I am now calling it either fancy geometry or shape algebra.
I like shape algebra better.
Shape algebra would make me less scared of it.
What do you study? Shape algebra.
It's like kind of right.
1 square times 1 square equals a trapezoid. How?
It's more like a hexagon, but thanks for trying.
I already failed.
Thanks for trying.
Oh my god. If you would write that on the bottom of my essay, thanks for trying.
Some math magician is listening to this,
face.
trying to figure out in what world a square times a square is a hexagon. So for you, I just made it up. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Geometry was by far my worst subject in school. Ever.
Sad.
Ever.
Aww.
I know. And I quite liked algebra. But it was just like I couldn't, the shapes, you understand.
I do understand.
What is the technical name for what you do?
I am getting a PhD in mathematics. I'm studying algebraic topology.
Wow.
So
I was
shape algebra.
there.
Like
is shape
topology is
algebra.
fancy geometry,
Yes.
kinda, and then
Topology?
topology,
You know
not the
Wow.
study of map elevation. That's topography.
Okay. Yeah.
Is this
Very different.
topology?
Topology with an L.
So you're
Shape
feeling
algebra.
sorry for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Greg, we wish you the best of luck at the Pro Tour.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was great.
We expect nothing less than a top 4 from you.
I would lower your expectations a little, just like a little bit, maybe like a couple, points.
But it's super cool you're going, and we're really proud to be your friends and
Yeah,
see
thanks.
you go to this big tournament.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I'm honored to be repping your podcast at the Pro Tour. I'll be wearing my Magic the Amateuring Greg.
Yep.
Yeah, come up and say hi if you see me. I'd love to meet you.
You're the one member of Team MTA Cast.
Yeah,
at the Pro Tour.
I said I was the unofficial team captain of the non-existent Team MtG.
Okay, perfect.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
my title.
Currently last in the team rankings. but-
Currently,
Yes.
well, yes,
Wow.
tied for last.
We'll
with
see.
all the other non-existent teams. Yeah, can Ghost Host be on my team? Are they qualified for the Pro Tour?
Ghost Host, are you qualified for this one? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be
Qualified.
there. So.
See you there. Yeah.
I have also been practicing Modern for my own less illustrious tournament.
I don't know about that.
That's true. I'm super excited because along with Sam Eilenfeld and Emma Handy from the Star City Games circuit, we are playing together in the Team Modern Super League, coming to Twitch at your home, which is... Which is like, gonna be like a Twitch near you, but it's like it's not near you. It's literally in your home. It's Twitch.
My
Don't
Twitch is
try to
often in
watch
my
at work
hand.
or at a coffee shop.
That's right.
Gotta watch at home.
Twitch at home. Starting in February, the first Tuesday of February, actually, our team is taking on the team of Li Shiqian, Raph Levy, and Patrick Dickman.
Oh, is that all?
That's it. Multiple time Pro Tour topic competitor Li Shiqian, as well as some other real good pros.
And one-time Pro Tour Top 8 competitor Sam Eilenfeld.
That's right, is on
That's
our
true.
team, so
Yeah.
thank God we've got that.
That's true. So what's the format of the Super League? Because people might be familiar with like Vintage Super League or the Community
That's right.
Super League. What are you doing this time?
Okay, so in the Team Modern Super League, we will have submitted, our team will have submitted 6 modern decks, the day before. And those decks can only overlap by 2 cards. So the idea is that you're going to see real, like you're not going to see just like some made up decks because you're trying not to overlap at all. You get to see 6 real decks, but they're going to be very different strategies. You don't want 6 variations on Death Shadow. I would scream.
And it would be impossible in this
Yeah,
format too.
Exactly. So then the team that you're playing against gets to ban one of your decks. So one of them they're not going to have to play against. And then it's a King of the Hill format when we play. So like you'll each pick your first player in the first deck that they're playing. And they'll battle. And the winner keeps playing with that deck. And then the losing team gets to pick their next player and the next deck that they're going to bring up against them.
Cool.
It's pretty sweet. I'm very excited.
So you can watch the trailer, by the way, for this on YouTube. It's pretty sweet announcing all the teams, and you've got your work cut out for you.
Oh God,
Just gotta say.
there's some very good teams, but we're super excited to play, and we've been talking about modern strategy like crazy for the past couple of weeks, Sam and Emma and I. So I'm really excited. So tune in.
What time is it?
It's
Sometime?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Clear out your Tuesday.
Just clear your Tuesday completely. Tuesday, February 6th is the first evening.
Pausing the podcast for a brief moment to say thank you to our gear sponsors, Ultra Pro.
That's
Ultra Pro!
right. You can even get their amazing stuff, which includes sleeves and playmats and awesome dice and deck boxes at Card Kingdom.
I know.
Just mash it all up in one.
Synergy. And here's
Yeah.
this thing I was using a notebook from Ultra Pro this past weekend
Ooh.
at Indy, and it was really cool. So Rich just gave them to us to use for the show, but I didn't get to keep it in. I was mad because it was so cool. It was a Life Total notebook, so it's like a little nice, tiny Life Total size, and it had the unstable land art on them. So you can get, not unstable, unhinged. So you can get those lands, obviously, on the sleeves already.
Yeah.
So now you can get them in Life Tracker notebooks, and they're super nice quality. They've got the little strap, and they stay open really nice on the table. Highly recommend them, and that's an awesome new product from Ultra Pro that I put my stamp of approval on. And Ultra Pro has put their stamp of approval on us, so we couldn't be happier to have them as part of the Magic the Amateuring family.
All right, everybody, it's time for Flavor Text Theater MadLibs edition.
This is my favorite Flavor Text Theater. I'm not biased or anything, but it's my favorite. And what we're going to do, you hear that sound, that sweet crinkling sound, is Meghan cracking a pack of Rivals of Ixalan. And what she's going to do is take the flavor text that already exists on these cards, write it down, and leave some words out, much like a Mad Lib. And Greg and I are going to have to fill these in, and hopefully we'll make, great and memorable flavor text. Although I have to say, Rivals of Ixalan flavor text, I think, is very good.
Is it?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I noticed it seems like a noticeable upgrade. I don't know what they're doing over there, but kudos to them. So we're going to try and beat the Masters at their own game by making Just epic flavor text.
I bet we can do it.
You
I
think
believe
so?
in us. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So first I need a noun.
Go ahead, Greg.
Avocado toast.
Ooh.
Maria, a noun.
Such a millennial noun. My noun is Greg.
Of course it is.
I need a proper noun.
Ooh. I
Person,
should
place, or thing.
Why did you
said Greg
use
there.
Greg?
I know.
Has a capital letter.
Really missed my chance there.
Is it me?
Yeah,
Am I
yeah.
supposed to
We'll go back and forth.
Oh, that makes sense. Oklahoma City.
An adjective.
An adjective. This is a describing word.
I'm gonna need another noun. Greg,
So
get ready.
I'm gonna
Thank you for
say
that.
pantsless.
All right. And a noun, Greg.
Toe socks. You know the socks that have the toe.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So this is for divine verdict.
Oh, nice.
The original text says, "Cunning warriors and dim-witted beasts alike fall under the church's harsh judgment."
Wow.
And the new one says, "Cunning avocado toast and dim-witted Greg alike fall under Oklahoma City's pantsless toe sock."
Oklahoma City's Pantsless Toe Socks is my
you're wearing-
new wave band. You can see it some dive bar coming up.
So you're wearing no pants but toe socks.
Pantsless toe sock.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Pantsless
It
and
is
toe
all
socks.
the rage in OKC right now, is what I've heard.
By the way, I have never been there, so
Cunning
I now
avocado
won't.
toast and dim-witted Greg.
Well,
Rough.
If you live in Oklahoma City and can confirm that pantsless toe socks is the current fashion, please tweet at MTIcast with the hashtag pantsless toe socks. I was trying to think of something better, but they're
No,
just
that's
no.
just
That's
it.
what it
that's
is.
it.
It's not as good as hashtag Greg's Declan. Which is my current favorite that
Oh
we've come
God!
up, I think,
You
of all
can't lie
time.
to us though. You can't say you're pro and going to the pro tour if you're not. You have to actually be going to this pro
have
tour,
to.
and you have to use
Hashtag Greg's deck list.
Yeah.
All right, I need a noun, Maria.
Okay, and
Greg, I'm
noun
gonna need a proper noun,
is
so.
passion fruit,
All right.
the most passionate fruit.
Greg.
Darth Vader.
All right, Maria, an adjective.
Kind of dumb.
All right. Greg, a verb.
Sprint.
And a noun.
Pineapple pizza.
All
What
right.
is? I must need to eat some fruit.
I know. All right. This is Fathom Fleet Border. Originally says, without frequent raids, orcs sometimes get bored and plunder their own ships. And now it's without frequent passion fruit, Darth Vader sometimes gets kinda dumb
Kinda dumb.
and sprints his own pineapple pizza.
Darth Vader's getting kind of dumb, you guys. You know what he's gonna do?
Without frequent passion fruit, Darth Vader gets kinda dumb.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
All right, we're moving on. I need another noun.
Ooh.
And after that, I'm gonna need a place. So start thinking.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Wait, is
You
it
go
me?
first, yeah.
Okay. Cream cheese wontons.
All right.
We just ate. And yet it's not evident.
Yeah.
A place. My place is going to be a state of mindfulness.
Okay, I need an adjective.
Mopily. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mopily. Yeah. It's a word.
Wait, no, that's an adverb.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Mopey.
Mopey. That's way better.
Mopey. I need a body part.
Mmm. Ooh.
Greg, after that, I need nouns, so start thinking.
Okay. Belly button lint.
All right.
Sometimes it's just a body part, just for real.
All right. Gross, but. Greg, you're on noun. Maria, you're on adjective.
Okay.
As my noun, I'd like to submit the song "It's Not Easy Being Green" that Kermit
right.
the Frog sings.
Oh, great
It's
noun.
not easy being green. The
You can
song.
put it. You
Song.
can put it in quotes.
The song.
Yes.
Song.
It's not easy being green.
Yes.
Maria, an adjective. Greg, after that, I'm going to need an adjective from you, too.
All right. This is my favorite adjective as of late. Buttery.
All right.
Buttery.
I think this one's going to make no sense.
What gives you that impression?
Another adjective, and then Maria, I'm gonna need a verb from you.
Ooh, oh boy.
Sloppy.
All right, sloppy, and then a noun from you, Greg. Maria, verb.
Verb. The Macarena. Doing the Macarena.
Doing the Macarena. All right. And a noun, Greg.
Saltine crackers.
Saltine
Macarena. Boom boom.
crackers.
I'm ready for this hot nonsense.
This one truly is just like word salad.
vomit? Okay.
It's just like word salad once it's done. Orazka Frillback says, the frillbacks of Orazka soak up the sun on their tall spinal fins. They look slow and sleepy until they catch the scent of prey. Okay.
Spinal fins.
The cream cheese wontons of a state of mindfulness soak up the sun on their mopey belly button lint. The song. It's not easy being green.
Yeah.
They look. Oh God. I need to get it together. They look buttery and slow.
They look buttery and sloppy.
Oh my God. Oh. Until they do the Macarena of the scent of saltine crackers.
Oh my God. They look buttery and sloppy until they do the Macarena.
Oh my God. Wait, no, it's saltine crackers of prey. Until they do the Macarena, the saltine crackers of prey. Oh my God.
Thing of beauty.
Wow.
They look buttery and sloppy.
That's how I'm gonna like say like when somebody says they have bedhead, I'm gonna be like, I'm buttery and sloppy right now.
Buttery and sloppy. All right, moving on.
Wonderful.
Oh, there's more.
Yep, there's a bunch. Not a bunch. There's just two more.
Okay, two more.
All right, I need an adjective.
Ooh, crunk.
I need another adjective.
Facetious.
And I need a verb. Actually, I'm just sorry. I'm not taking facetious.
You're not taking facetious?
I'm scratching my
Ooh,
need
not
for a
taking
second
it.
adjective. I'm just using what's already on.
Okay, great.
Oh, sorry about
so
that.
we still need a verb?
Greg, I need a verb from you.
Verb.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my bad.
It's an action
A
word
verb is an action word. It's something you do.
for you.
Oh, I thought you had one too.
No, it's
no,
you.
it's you.
Oh, it's me.
Because
Yeah, it's
we
you.
skipped.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
The sass was to me. I'm gonna go with jump off a diving board.
All right.
Not just jump.
Ooh, nice. Specific kind of jump, really.
Yes.
All right. All right, so here's this card. It is Exultant Sky Marcher reads, "We have come at last to this holiest of holy places. What was stolen from us long ago is ours once again."
Wow.
God. We have come at last to this crunkest of crunk places. What was jumped off a diving board from us long ago is ours once again.
The crunkest of crunk places, Raska.
Yep. The crunkest. We have come at last to this crunkest of crunk places.
Raska's so crunk, you guys.
All right,
What
last
a dumb
one.
word.
Last one.
Okay,
All right, I need
okay.
an adjective.
I just gave a verb. It's your turn.
All right, fine. I can never beat crunk. Like a soft rain.
All right. Another adjective, Greg. Maria, you're gonna be on a noun.
Ooh, got it.
Dizzy.
Ooh, that plays well into my noun.
What's your noun?
Dingus.
Greg, I will also need a noun.
Hummingbird.
I need an adjective, and then Greg, I will need a title or job from you.
Ooh. Booty shaking.
All right. Greg, a title or job. And Maria, a celebrity from you.
Oh, great.
Professional Magic the Gathering player.
All right. Meta.
Celebrity. Bob Ross.
Perfect.
The joy
All
of
right.
painting.
This is Strider Harness. Because the giant implacable death lizard wasn't scary enough already, Captain Brian Lee Rage. Because the like a soft rain, dizzy, dingus hummingbird wasn't booty shaking enough already. Professional MtG player Bob Ross.
You know Bob Ross would have been all about it. What was it? A booty shaking hummingbird?
Because the like a soft rain, dizzy dingus hummingbird wasn't booty shaking enough already.
I certainly agree.
Yes, I agree.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Dizzy
all right.
dingus.
Yep.
That
From
should
the
be a magic
crunkest
card.
of Crunkfuses.
Oh,
My
once
goodness.
again, these lovely
My
rares we
goodness.
open into our giveaway
That's right.
pool.
Wait, what was the
What
rare?
was the rare?
Oh yeah, did
Hold
we?
on. Oh, it was the big white dino, flying dino. Elder dino.
Zetopa.
Yeah.
Big
I lost
white
to this
dino
card.
flying dino.
I mean, it seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, that's this episode of Magic the Amateuring. Thanks so much to our amateur pro, Greg, for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's always fun being on your show.
We're going to have you on again to talk about your experience at the Pro Tour and just about, pro things in the pro community. Pro.
Yeah, I'm
Greg.
definitely the most informed person on that.
You are on this show.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Thank you again to our wonderful sponsors, cardkingdom.com/MTAcast, and especially to you, the supporters of this show, over on patreon.com/MTAcast. And remember, you can also head over to that PayPal link if you'd like to get your name up on the MTA wall in Ravnica.
Yeah, just one more time. The link is paypal.me/MTAcast.
Yeah. So head on over to those places, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for existing and listening. And remember to put that reminder on your calendar to check out patreon.com at the end of the month, because it will switch over, I believe, on the 2nd of February. So you're going to get charged on the 1st, and it'll flip over on the 2nd to our new patron model. And we're going to be kind of yelling at you about it in a gentle, kind way, like a soft rain, throughout February to go and switch, because if we don't, MTA could end up in a very bad financial situation. But we want to be able to do this for you because we believe that we will be able to give you higher quality content in the future. So please help us and support us, and remember to do that on the 2nd of February.
I'll be honest, I haven't done it yet, but if you're like me and you keep putting it off, now's the time.
Well,
Just
now's
don't do
not
it
the
now.
time.
Oh, now's
but
not the
soon.
At the end of the month.
At the end of the month.
Wow, so it's good that I haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
I've been feeling guilty about this
Yes.
for weeks.
No.
No, at the end of the month.
End of the month.
Okay,
End of the month. Put it
End of the
into your reminders
Yeah.
right now. Your
Yeah.
Google Cal. Set an alarm.
Yeah.
All those things.
We'll remind you again, but
Yes.
might as well just do it.
Also, personal plug, I usually tweet a lot during tournaments, so if you want to follow me on Twitter, I am at magic, like the card game we play, _ my last name, which is Michael, but it's spelled without an A, so it's Michel, and then there's a P. So all together, that's at Magic Michael with an underscore in it.
Why do you
there
have
is
the P?
there is no A. Sometimes I say my Twitter handle is Magic Michael. There is no A, and the P is silent.
Okay,
You can
that's
remember
good.
it that
That's
way.
good. Yeah, go follow Greg. Go follow
follow
Greg.
Greg.
Sometimes I tweet selfies with planeswalkers, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's a good.
Tweet at him with the hashtag Greg's
Greg's
Deck List.